Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me. My name is Susan Timchak and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I'd like to welcome you here today. I'm continuing my A to Z technique series today, and something that I actually don't even have a typed up sheet yet for you, but I will be working on that soon, I promise. I thought about this idea when I was going through my stash of things I owned, and I came across this tin tile dynamic textured impression embossing folder. This was something that was focused in the holiday catalog, and I'm almost 90% sure that this is a carryover item. I'd have to pull out the occasions catalog just to make sure, but this is a real fun dynamic embossing folder, and by looking at it, because it's the tin tile design, I thought, oh, an oldie but goodie old technique was a faux tile design. Now, isn't that fun? So I want to show you how easy it is to do, and I mean, you don't even really need to have a typed up sheet, but I will do one just because. So this does involve the big shot, of course. And you just pull that up, make some room. I really need to clean this desk off. If you guys could only see the mess, you only see this much, but trust me. Okay, so to do the technique, I have these foil sheets. Now you can use aluminum foil as well. They also have heavy duty foil you can use. These I love. I use these in my kitchen because I hate those rolls where you go to tear it and then, you know, it doesn't tear right and all that kind of stuff. But these you can find in your local grocery store, but I also find them at my local Dollar Tree store. And they're really cool. They come in a box and you just pull them up like you would pull out a tissue, and you get a whole sheet of the foil. And if it's perfect on a cookie sheet, I use it in my air fryer. Anyhow, what I did with that is I took one of those, and I first tried cutting it with my paper cutter, but I realized that it's just way too thin to use on a paper cutter. So I just used my scissors, and I thought, well, when I'm cutting with my scissors, I'm doing a two-task because I'm also sharpening the blades on my scissors. Because another little tip, because this technique is so simple, if you have a punch that's sticking, you'll want to use a few layers. Make sure you use a few layers of the foil, and you can punch it with your punches, and that foil, the metal in that, helps to sharpen up the metal in your punches. So just another little tip for you there. But anyhow, so you take this, and I have my 3x4 cards. I'm using up some of my old cardstock because as a demonstrator, I don't like to use the colored cardstock, which this is Peekaboo Peach, I believe, that had retired, but we're going to fold it and cover it up anyhow, so it doesn't matter what color cardstock that you're going to do this on. And basically what you do is you're going to turn it over and cut your foil a little bit larger than your piece of cardstock, whether you're making a card or whatever you're doing. Then just fold this over. Probably could have cut it a little bit bigger, but that's okay, as long as it covers. And, you know, wrap it up like you were going to wrap up a package. Okay, just cover that up. And just do this. Cover that up. Okay, there we go. So there we have our foil covered piece of cardstock. So then you want to take your folder. Where did I do with it? Oh, it's in my big shot. Let me try to make some room so we can do the big shot here. Just have way too much stuff on this desk. Okay, so we have our big shot. Well, you could kind of see the big shot. Anywho, you want to use your big shot platform, just the platform, because this is the dynamic texture embossing folder. So this is one of those extra thick ones. And you want to make sure you're reading the Stampin' Up. You're going to put your piece of foil in here. And I did realize that it has to be straight. So what Stampin' Up has done on these folders, you see this little line here on the bottom? Just to line that up, and I think I'm going to do it this way, just to make it easier for myself, and put it down. Line it up so that it's straight. Otherwise, this with the line on the folder will make your tin image crooked. So put it in with the fold side first, and I'm just going to use that bottom plate. You put that in. This is a 6x6 folder, so it fits perfectly. Make sure it's all lined up. Your other plate on top, and I'm just going to crank it through the big shot. It goes through fairly easy, so don't think that you're not doing anything when you're running it through. And just because, I'm just going to roll it back again. So this is like when you do your crafting, it's like getting a workout too, right? Okay, you just put that down. And yep, that does go on the floor. And when you open up your folder, look, there is your tin image. How fun is that? All right, so that is basically the technique. So I'm just going to take another card, and you don't want to run your adhesive over the back of this because that will take away from your embossed image a little bit. So I have the same size just because I didn't want, this to be in my book like this. I just kind of want to make it nice. So I'm going to use the same size card. I'm just going to make a little sandwich. You can add a little piece of ribbon on here, however you want to decorate it up. I didn't do too much to it because I didn't want to hide any of the embossing on here because that would kind of ruin the look I was going for. So there's my little piece. So I thought I just want to do a quick little saying. So I'm going to use my Well Said stamp set that I had just gotten. And I thought it'd be perfect to use the stamp that says, "Time for a New Adventure." So again, my little scraps that I use when I trim out my cardstock, I'm just going to stamp. Oh, and I always tend to get ink on me with this. What is up with that? All right, no worries. Just going to stamp that here. Time for a New Adventure. Clean that on my chamois. Oh, I know what happens with this. This gets like ink around that edge there, and I always get my finger on that. So, use my chamois to clean my finger off too. Alright, so then I'm going to use, where is it? Here it is, my triple tag punch. I use it upside down, just to make a little flag on the end. Now you could use your scissors too if you don't own this. So let me do a little more. Well, this is so simple and quick and easy. So there I made my little flag. Just going to use my now newly sharpened paper snips and trim that. And put my adhesive on the back. Come on. There we go. And then stick this on here. Time for a New Adventure. And there is our, well, what should we call this technique? We should call this faux tin technique. I think so. So there's the one I did before, and there's my first one. So being I don't have yet my typed up little paragraph for doing this, we're just going to make do for now until I get that all typed up. And we'll go ahead and stick this into our book. And I'll just put a blank one in here for now. And you know what? I think that's a little bit smaller than the others. It is. So you know what I can do with that is I actually can take this and layer this onto another piece because I forgot that I cut it a little bit too small. So the piece that you would layer it on would be a little bit bigger. And I'm not sure I'll be able to get that off, but that's okay. No worries there. So that would go into your book along with your typed up technique, which I will get that done. And if you're wondering, how do I get these technique paragraphs that I have in my book? You can go ahead on over to my stampinsucreates.stampinup.net, and under A to Z Techniques, you'll find them there. Or you can head on over to my blog over at Blogspot or Blogger at www.stampinsucreates.blogspot.com, and you can find it there as well on the page where it says A to Z Techniques. So I have them in both areas for you. You could just copy and paste and make your own technique book. But I did have some suggestions when I do reach my 2K subscribers. I am going to be doing a giveaway of the techniques that I've been making extras of. So be sure to subscribe and share, and I will let you know, or you let me know, when I reach that 2K mark so I can do that fun giveaway of all the techniques that I've been sharing with you. So you'll get all the sample cards, and you'll get all of the technique little cards, because I have some that I've been making extra, and you can just put them in. I think I'm going to use those baseball card sleeves, because then you could just throw them in a binder and make your own technique book to keep adding on to what already I've created. So anyhow, be sure to keep watching, keep subscribing, sharing, commenting, liking, and thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you back here again real soon for another fun technique. Have a great day. Bye for now.